Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna talk about 3 core skills that helped me as a management consultant not only survive but also to deliver the result the client was expecting, and it's gonna help you as an entrepreneurs, as members of any organization, to save lots of time while delivering better business results. So, welcome to the video! I spent over 8 years working as a management consultant. If you don't know what management consulting is, then just imagine a company where other companies go to get an advice. For example, should we enter this particular market? Or should we launch this particular product? Or what should we do to cut our costs by 10, 20% and at the same time not ruin our business? Those questions are typically always quite complex. You have to look at them from many different angles. And you also have to do it quite quickly and with limited team, which would be a recipe for a disaster, if not 3 skills that I'm gonna tell you about today. Since I'm trying to make this channel more about green business, environmental business, I will try to use more examples from this area, but those skills are actually universal to any type of business. Skill number 1 is structuring. Structure is a king, or a queen, whatever. And you have to apply it always. Lack of structure is a pain. There are no exceptions. Never. Don't trust the person who tells you that structure is not important. I will explain why. Let's use an example. Let's imagine we have an online store selling products from local farmers, I don't know, fruits, vegetables and stuff. And someone in this store realized that in the last 3 months, they lost 10% of customers. What typically happens, what I often saw in real life, this person thinks, okay, this can be the result of many things. Technical issues, marketing issues, whatsoever. So we need to have a meeting to discuss. And how it often happens, everyone comes to the meeting occupied with their own thoughts on many other issues. And then someone asks the question, we are losing customers. What could be the reason? I saw very good examples of people starting intuitively structure the question and looking for a solution in a very pragmatic and structured way. But more often, I saw either brainstorming. I mean, if you are lucky, you can guess the right answer. But most likely it's just gonna be a list of ideas of what could be the reason. The list of ideas is not comprehensive, so they might miss something. And in the end, this list is just extra tasks for someone to check if those hypotheses are real or not. And I also saw scenarios that were even worse, because people could start blaming others. For example, chief technical officer could say, I know, technical side is working perfectly well. Most likely there are problems with marketing. Marketing can say, I'm not sure, marketing is done amazingly. So most likely there are problems with technical side. Chief strategy officer can say, well, if you could approve the budget for the full-fledged strategy a year ago, then now we wouldn't have those problems. And so on, so on, so on. So instead of having organized, constructive meeting, it's just even bigger waste of time. And now I'm gonna tell you what could be done differently and how structure could help in this particular case. So let's rewind the time a little bit to the moment when the person discovers the problem. And this person thinks, okay, let's try to structure the problem and see if I can actually narrow down my questions to the audience, or maybe I can avoid the meeting at all. He knows the number of customers who made an order is 10% less now. Number of customers who made an order is the last step of the marketing funnel. The first step is the moment when the person sees the ad. So the first number that we need to get is number of unique ad viewers. The second step is when the person not only saw the ad, but also clicked on the ad to visit the site. The third step is when the person not only visited the site, but he also decided to put something in a basket. So now the task would be to figure out on which of these steps we started losing customers. So in practice, this means we just need to get numbers for each of the steps and check where the biggest drop has happened. And then the next logical step will be to take the step that caused the biggest loss of customers and drill down the structure to develop a precise and comprehensive list of hypotheses of why this could have happened. Now I'm gonna show you how this drilled down structure of each step could look like. Number of unique ad viewers directly depends on 2 main variables. What channels do we use? So the channel mix. What reach we are trying to get within those channels through the ad settings. On channel mix, the main questions or main hypotheses are, did we change the channels that we use? Or did we change dramatically the focus among those channels? On ad settings, did we change the description of target audience that we are trying to reach? Maybe we are trying to reach now less people who are interested in dairy products, and this would cut amount of people who sees the ad. Second, do we still use the same amount of budget? Third, duration of the ad. And depending on a channel, there might be other settings. If number of unique ad viewers didn't change much, then we're gonna move forward to the step number 2 and check the number of unique site visitors. If it dropped down, which means that the same amount of people sees the ad, but now less people want to click on the ad, it means that there might be two problems, either with the ad or with people. Which means that we might target the wrong audience. But since in our case we already checked this point on the previous step, so I'm gonna cross it out. Ad content has several main categories. For example, it could be design. Maybe we change the colors, maybe we change the pictures. It could be the link. In every ad, we put the link to the site. So are we sure it's working? Call to action. Do we still have call to action button, copy of the ad, or basically the main value proposition? Did it change? If number of unique site visitors didn't change much, then we move forward to the next step, number of site visitors who put something in a basket. If this number went down, then there might be two reasons. First one, site visitors wanted to put something in a basket but they couldn't due to website functionality changes. And second, they didn't want to put anything in a basket because they didn't like the value proposition that we have. So within the first thread, what can be checked is, first one, the structure of the site. Did it change? Maybe now it's harder to find the product on the site. Maybe now it's harder to navigate between the sections of the site. Second one, design. Maybe now it's more misleading. And third one is simply bugs. Within the second thread, there are only two things: combination of assortment and price. And if number of site visitors who put something in a basket also didn't change, then it means that we are losing customers on the very final step, on the step of making an order. And here there are three potential logical reasons. The first one, customer wanted to make an order but he couldn't, so here we also need to check website functionality. The second one, customer decided, no, I don't want to. And here we need to check order conditions because we know the fact that customer wanted our products because he put them in a basket. But apparently when he was making an order, he saw that the sum of conditions do not suit him. And the last one, customer kinda was in indecisive position, so he maybe wanted, maybe not. And to catch customers in this state, typically there are purchase stimulating mechanisms used. For example, make an order right now and you will get 10% discount. So maybe we changed some of those mechanisms. Regarding website functionality, now it's not about design at all, but it still can be about structure. On the last step, for example, more fields that customer has to fill out to make an order were added. And again, maybe there are bugs preventing from making an order. On order conditions, there are typically two main things that can stop the customer. It's delivery terms or payment. And purchase stimulating mechanisms, I don't think we should drill down further. It's typically just a discount on the last step. So guys, this was a simplified example of how the logic of drilling down the problem can look like to allow you to identify very concrete hypotheses. And if this is the company with easily available data, then the person who identified the problem could quickly check what happened even without involving others. Or if they still decided to have a meeting, fine, but now they have very precise questions that had to be answered. And they don't even need to spend time on brainstorming. And this is how structure helps. So as a result, structure saves a lot of time and a lot of effort of many people. And it also helps you to make sure that you are not missing the right answer. Because if you're not structuring, then you are guessing. And guessing cannot give you a comprehensive list of possible hypotheses. And structuring skills, it's not a magic. It's something you can really practice and you can develop. And trust me, you will benefit so much. Skill number 2. Always remember your goal. And always check if what you are doing suits the goal. Consultants love to ask questions. Guys, what is the problem you're trying to solve? And though I have goosebumps when I hear this question because I heard it like 1,000 times, maybe more. But it's really good one. In real life, you are always overwhelmed with the amount of tasks, with the amount of questions, with the amount of meetings, and you have to be really strict with what you are doing and what you are not doing. And you have to make sure that you put in your bucket of to-do list only things that lead you to your goal. Let's get back to the previous example. With a farm store and someone identified that they lost 10% of customers. The reality could be that half a year ago, company decided to focus only on growing their revenue. They decided we don't care if the customer base is growing. We don't care if we are losing it. We want to make sure that the revenue is growing. And if we have less customers, but they are buying more, spending more money, it's fine. We want to have more revenue, that's it. And a person who identified the problem of losing customers had to ask himself, well, if I know that our business so far is focused only on growing revenue, and that's it, should I even waste my time, and especially should I waste time of other people inviting them on a meeting? Well, maybe not. But what often happens? Businesses might not have precise goals, businesses might not align everyone, and as a result, people are going in different directions. And most likely in real life, meeting about the customer base would happen, people would spend lots of time discussing it, then people would spend lots of time trying to check hypotheses that they brainstormed, and in the end, a lot of time is wasted. But the reality is that it wasn't even a problem because so far companies focused only on revenue. Skill number 3 is prioritization. Because even after you cut all the bullshit that doesn't help you to achieve the goal, you're still gonna have a lot of things on your plate, a lot of things to do. And you have to prioritize them and decide what you're gonna do first, second, and what you're not gonna do at all, ideally. And this is not always easy. I know from my own experience. But you always have to remember about 80-20 principle. 20% of tasks give you 80% of the result. Let's get back to the farm product store example. Let's imagine we are in a moment when the store is not launched yet, but team is getting ready to launch it and developing the concept. What you can often observe is that team wants to make everything perfect from the first version, to add all the possible functionality that customer might need, to make design as beautiful as possible. Well, honestly, this is not the perfect approach. Most likely you're gonna have limited resources of developers team. You have limited time to launch the store. And in reality like that, while trying to make all the details beautiful, all the details perfect, you're most likely gonna have bugs in the core functionality. To avoid things like that, development is typically done in phases. Phase number 1, the basic one, you just have to produce functionality that is enough for customer to be able to proceed with the order. And that's it. No beautiful designs, no beautiful amazing features, nothing. Just make sure that customer can do what he wants to do, is to buy the product, and that's it. Then second phase, you add more features, you add more variety of designs. So you have phases, and phases, this is one of the ways to prioritize to-do list. So as a result, prioritization is a tool to make sure that you focus on the right things and you deliver the best possible result on the things that are matter and don't get burnt out along the way. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope it was useful. If you liked the video, please don't forget to put your like and to subscribe because it helps a lot. And because going further, I'm gonna post more about my consulting experience and how it can be helpful for green businesses and about environmental, political and economical context. So stay tuned and have a great week. Bye guys!